Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praise to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, in the name of His Son, which is Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the nation of Israel, better known as the Great Millstone. Shalom and salutations to the elect, the 144, the sincere Akim, teaching the correct doctrine in the body of Yahweh Shai, in the name, the water for your labors, and death to 2/3. This is Matthew's, the 6th chapter. Start at verse 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit to his stature? And you know what? I'm gonna stop there. And this is the mentality that is supposed to be being built up, is focus so much on the word, focus so much on this ministry that everything else will work itself out. You know, the Most High is going to provide and open doors and possibilities for these things to be taken care of, you know. And Paul had mentioned this when he had said, you know, woe is me if I preach not the gospel. You know, he said, for necessity is laid upon me, you know, and if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward, but if against my will, then it would be like a dispensation. It would be like a job, you know. So we do this thing willingly and freely. You're not looking for a reward. You know, a lot of guys, they've taken their YouTube views into monetization, so they can, you know, make some money off of it. You know, and I guess that thought process is, well, you know, might as well get paid for it. Might as well, you know, rehearse the part of the priest being able to live off of doing the work. But the work that the apostles and disciples were doing wasn't I don't know, it was different, you know. I'll just say that it was different, because than what I'm seeing other groups do now, because they're not really pushing into prophecies. The majority of these other camps are just pushing, you know, so-called black identity, minority identity, which is good that Jake knows that they're Israelites, but what about the name? I mean, that's one thing that most camps have in common, and that's not even 100%, because you have the GOCC who changed the 12 tribes chart and put the islanders on there. So you don't even have across the board for Israelites the correct teaching of who our identity is. So what's happening now is we're seeing videos of just bug outs, putting the knowledge and information that they're Israelites, that they're of the 12 tribes, in freestyles and raps, on merchandise, and ultimately they have no cloak for their sin. But one thing that's being lacked in this push is the name and the warning of what's to come. So by their actions, they're expressing no further fear of the Heavenly Father. It's good to teach who Israel is, but there has to be a bigger mission than just, hey, you're an Israelite. Hey, look, you're an Israelite. Hey, you're an Israelite. Okay, well, what does that mean? What is it? Because Israel in itself means a prince of the power, a prince of the Most High. So that needs to be a little bit, that needs to be pushed a little bit further. And the fear of the Heavenly Father, the salvation to come is for Israel, who are of the elect, who are elected, who are 1/3, who are of the 144,000. That's who the salvation is for. The rest of Israel needs to be told that they're going to be destroyed because they're wicked, man. So, in the ancient days, the apostles, the disciples, their whole mission was to spread the whole roll. They took the whole roll, and they taught the whole roll, man. Why do you think they all ended up dead, man? The brother Yashawamba, he had shared a photo explaining the deaths of the disciples, of the apostles, and the things they had to go through. And man, I was blown away and mesmerized by Andrew. What it was said of Andrew, that for 2 days, first, as he approached his cross, he saluted it and said that, that he's been waiting for it. Basically, that it was an honor to die on the same cross as Yahweh Shai. And for 2 days, they beat him for 2 days, and the whole time he was just teaching the word, man, condemning the wicked, talking about the kingdom to come for 2 days. These guys, and it was a group of guys, it had to have been, getting tired, taking turns, whooping on him, man. That's, man, I was blown away by that. Now, there was other stories that were listed and such, and I'm sure others would be blown away more so by those, or but that one was just heavy to me, man. And part of the reason why you don't worry about these little things in life, man, is because tomorrow's not promised today, and that the servant is not greater than his master. So what happened to them, expect it to come for you. Hard times, man. Acceptable men being tried in the furnace of adversity. So don't worry about these carnal things in life, man. If you're really focused on the word, if you're really focused on what needs to be done and doing it the right way, don't worry about nothing else. Everything else around you is going to move out the way. It's going to be shoved to the side for for you to focus on this work as needs to be, man. You know, it's getting as we get closer and closer, it's getting closer and closer. It's, you know, down to the wire, man. There's a lot of things that, you know, we're gonna see come to pass that people aren't gonna be able to understand and react to properly. And part of you as being a teacher, part of us as being teachers, we're grooming and prepping for that stuff, you know, to see things before our eyes that others aren't going to be able to process the right way. I mean, imagine that. Andrew is, you know, the report of Andrew approaching his death sentence and saluting it and embracing it. And during all that, in his last hours, man, he was the man who we all thought he was, you know. That's very, very, very commendable. So you think a man like that was worrying about his clothing, was worrying about, you know, carnal things, like stressing about stressing about carnal things? No. He knew that as long as he had to do what needed to be done, everything else was going to fall in line, and it did. And guess what? He's alive again today. And guess what he's doing? He's pushing this word, man, fervently. You know? And I believe the apostles and the elders, man, they got to be amongst the 12, you know? They got to be, man. Because who else is pushing so fervently, man? And that's something to be seen and behold and to take seriously, man. You don't want your behavior to be unbecoming, to be an unbecoming report amongst those men. And you got a lot of guys in the nation of Israel who are aware that they're Israelites, who are aware that they're supposed to be teaching and are teaching, who don't take them serious, man. When Yahushua is giving power to his disciples over this earth to judge, man, he's trusted them. But that's a level of belief and faith that a lot of guys, you know, they don't have instilled or built in them, man. You know, it's like if I got a first ever released cell phone, that big old brick, you know, it doesn't flip down. It's got that giant antenna on it. It's hella big. And then I want to play YouTube on it. Well, first of all, there's no screen, man. It's not built for it. And you know, that's just what it is. You don't want to be an outdated piece of technology, man. That new living creature with living water in it, that's what you want to be. You know, and that attitude, that mindset of really putting this on, of having, you know, no cares of this world, I see it's a difficult task for some, man. Because a lot of guys, after a couple years, what do? They start going back. They go back into the world, to those things that they've ran away from, you know, which, hey, those things are going to take time away from your learning, man. So you really got to balance this thing out. You really got to figure out which master you're going to serve. Which wolf are you going to feed, man? Are you going to be hot or cold, man? Because lukewarm is not an option. Right? And that's the whole vibration right now, man. You see? So, hey, those who are going to do and are meant to do will do what's called. And those who are not, hey, that's just what it is. So I'm gonna end this portion here and say shalom.